Hello everybody, we are back here on a beautiful morning on Silver Ridge Peaks with the brand new weapon pack, the Assorted Sidearms weapon pack. This is going to be a very fun video to do, as this is the very first look that we will get at these handguns in-game, besides the EW stream that they did a few days ago. However, we will finally get to test them out on a variety of animals and see how they perform, and what better map to start on than the new and improved Silver Ridge Peaks that they recently did a complete revamp on. This is the update where SRP is getting completely reset and having a redistribution of all the animals, and so I figured it makes sense for us to start here. Now, we've got some elk in front of us. We're about to see what their drink time is like. Did they extend the drink times to be in line with other maps? Or are they still going to be the way they always have been on Silver Ridge Peaks? Let's find out. 4:30 to 8 o'clock. Okay, that is amazing. So it looks like Silver Ridge Peaks drink zones are in line with every other map. Instead of only being 30 minutes to an hour, they've actually got a full 3.5 hours now, which is really nice. It's going to make it much more, I guess, enjoyable to grind some of these species like rocky elk, mule deer, mountain goats, and bighorn sheep, and we won't have to worry about the super constrained time frames to make it so that we always have to rush our grind when we're doing something like Rocky Mountain elk. Now we're actually going to be able to hunt them a little more comfortably, which is pretty sweet. And I mean, already, this lake at Tufans has 4 zones, and I haven't even checked what's here, so this is already a massive improvement in many ways. Let me know down in the comments what your guys' opinion is on them changing the range of times that you can find these animals drinking, because previously it was very short drink times for all of the animals except a couple on Silver Ridge Peaks, and there was some people that liked that, though there was also a lot of people that didn't like it. So let me know if you like this change where they have a longer drink time, or if you preferred the old drink times where it was a little bit more limited and it kind of forced you to hunt feed zones a bit more. Well, we have officially discovered the drink time for bighorn sheep. Let's take a look at what it is. It is 12:30 to 16:30. Yeah, it looks like they did go the route of giving all of the animals on the reserve some more normal style drink zones. So that is kind of cool to see. It's going to make grinding less painful, though I'm definitely sure there's some people that preferred it the other way. This definitely is going to be a little bit more manageable now when you're trying to grind a specific species and you want to be able to hit all your drink zones. You will no longer have to reset the time like 2 or 3 times before you actually make it through an entire run. But now that we have found ourselves a class 4 animal, let's go ahead and take the Glock out and try to take one of them down, as I have been waiting for this moment ever since they announced that there was a Glock being added to the game. Alright, so we've got a bighorn sheep about 79 meters away. The maximum zeroing distance for the Glock is 75, so this will be a good test of the longer range shots with it. Let's go ahead and... oh my gosh, I love the way this thing sounds. Let's try to get an idea of how quickly it's going down, and wow, that is actually pretty impressive. Not gonna lie, I didn't expect it to perform that good. When we saw the stats of the ammo on the EW stream, I didn't think that it would be able to kill a bighorn that fast. I'm really curious where we hit, because that thing went down comparable to probably the 270, maybe even a little bit faster than what the 270 would do. So that was more than what I expected. But I mean, it is just the first shot. There's always a possibility that we hit more than just double lung there. But I guess we'll find out. Let's go ahead and see where we hit it. So that was left lung, liver, stomach. So that wasn't even a double lung. Very interesting. Also, for some reason, the harvest screen is a little bit laggy, but it still says I'm getting 200 frames. So curious why that is, but gotta say, I am impressed with the performance of the 10mm Glock. Look at the penetration on this thing. I got a feeling this gun's gonna be a lot more used and impressive than what we initially thought. Like, because of the fact that it's a 10mm Glock, I was probably gonna use it quite a bit just because of that. But after seeing this performance, I'm starting to think a lot more people will end up using it. Though this was just the first shot, definitely could just be a one-off thing. We'll continue using it and see if we get some similar results on different animals. Okay, let's try a shot that's a little bit too far. This guy is about to spook anyway, so we might as well attempt a longer shot and just see how well it does when you have to compensate for the drop a little bit. And there also should be a little bit more damage fall off from this distance, but I don't even know if we'll get a shot off on it. I guess we'll see. You know, I think we might have dropped it. Yep, we did. Very curious what we hit now, because I didn't think it was going to drop it. That had to have been an X shot, or possibly a brain shot. Let's see, where did we end up hitting this thing? It was a middle neck shot, so that did really well. So you can easily make frontal neck shots with this thing, just like you could with a lot of the rifles and handguns that are already in the game. It does have a decent bit of penetration. I mean, it went through the neck bone and also the thoracic vertebrae. So that's pretty impressive. And also, guys, while I'm thinking about it, be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know what things you want me to check out in this update, because not only was there a new weapon pack and a complete reset and revamp to Silver Ridge Peaks, but there's a number of different various small tweaks that they've made that I would love to try to kind of dive into and look through a bit more to get a little more knowledge about the smaller things that have changed in this game. So let me know if there's anything you're curious about, and I will dive into it to try and figure out if it's changed at all. Now, we've got a bunch of Bighorn chasing us down. Let's try to get a shot into a couple. Oh. Well, that would have hit, but I got pushed to the side. Alright then. Well, that didn't go how I thought it would, but I guess we got a few extra kills on the Bighorn over here, so let's go ahead and take a look at this one. So, wow. Yeah, that was crazy penetration. And once again, it barely ran anywhere after we shot it. So now that you guys have seen this handgun in action a little bit, let's talk about some of the stuff that can be put on it. Now, you may have noticed that we're using a red dot, and this is not the Marksman Exact Reflex Sight. This is a brand new one that comes custom for the Glock. It's the Marksman Devani Reflex Sight. And then we also have two types of ammo, the 10mm auto hardcast flat nose, which is what we're using currently, and the 10mm auto jacketed hollow point. Obviously, the hollow point's going to give you more expansion, but less penetration, and vice versa for the hardcast, which is why we're using the hardcast. Penetration is typically the way to go in most cases with the ammo in this game, and so far it's performing very well, a lot better than I expected it to. And it looks like the brand new drink time for mule deer is going to be 15 to 18, which is in line with what they drink at on other maps. So that is good to see that they're kind of making it universal across all of the maps with most of these species. That is going to really help narrow down the confusion for a lot of newer players, because I know going from one map to another and having the drink zones be completely different for the same species could definitely be confusing, and it's nice to see that they have kind of remedied that by making all of the same species, or I guess all maps that have the same species, have the same drink times for them. That is really nice, and it's gonna help a lot of people. Alright, so once again, we got a Bighorn out at about 73 to 75 meters. Another good opportunity to test out the 10mm. And we will get to some of the other guns very shortly, but I want to do at least one more shot with the 10mm to see how a perfectly broadside double lung will perform, as we've been hitting other organs in these last few shots. It would be nice to get one where it's just the lungs. And I'm hoping this guy will be the perfect opportunity to do that, but he continues to turn and not give me the shot that I'm looking for. Okay, here we go. This might be a little bit of a better one to go for. Yeah, that is not too bad. It is already down. Yeah, this thing is performing pretty well. I gotta say, it's actually killing quicker than I expected it to, especially since we saw the stats, and it's just barely better expansion and slightly lower penetration than the 45 Colt, but I guess that extra expansion is actually doing wonders for this round, and that was a double lung right there from around 62 meters, and it still took it down pretty quickly. Got what seems to be full quick kill. Now I'm curious how it'll do on a mountain lion. There actually is one near, so I think we'll go shoot that next, and then we'll move on to one of the other handguns. Well, unfortunately, this thing has caught my wind, and because of that, it's probably gonna spook. We might as well attempt this longer shot right here. Plus, that'll give us a better idea of the performance anyway, and it's spooked, of course. The wind always just has to ruin everything that we try to do. Alright, so we've got a mountain lion running towards us. This will be a great opportunity to try and take it down with the 10 mil, as this is one of those situations that I would expect to be using a 10mm Glock when I'm out hunting, is for like a mountain lion defense or something like that. So this will actually be pretty interesting. Let's prone so I can get close and then try to take it down. This is going to be pretty cool right here. Let's see if we can get its attention real quickly. That was... okay, that went nothing like what I was expecting. I don't know what just happened. But that mountain lion... it's got some crazy Matrix moves. That's for certain. There we go. Finally getting a shot into one of these mountain lions. And honestly, it's not doing too bad. Definitely kills a mountain lion a little bit slower, but... it still took it down within like 5 or 6 seconds, so provided we get full quick kill, then that's still going to be pretty good. Well, moment of truth, let's go ahead and take a look. This was a double lung hit. Okay, so yeah, not terrible. Let's check the quick kill. So 57% quick kill from 72 meters on a mountain lion, which is class 5. Honestly, yeah, this 10 mil is still performing better than I thought it would. I didn't think you'd really be able to do very good on anything above class 4. And it's actually done surprisingly well on class 4 and 5. Definitely not in line with a rifle, which is to be expected as it is a handgun, and obviously not in line with like the 454 or the 44 Magnum, as in real life both of those calibers would be better than a 10 mil anyway. So I think it's sitting about where it should be. It's better than the 357, but not as good as the 44 or the 454. But you do have that 15-round magazine and the semi-automatic capabilities, so I do think this will be a pretty balanced handgun to use and just a lot of fun. I'm actually really enjoying using this, but I think it's time to jump to a different handgun that I probably won't enjoy as much since I'm not a fan of the 45 Colt. But there is a new ammo coming with this update for the 45, so we'll test both of them out and see how they do. So it does seem like the pronghorn feed from 9:30 to 12, which is a very interesting feeding time for them. So that means their drink time is either before or after. That's a little bit different than what I was expecting for the pronghorn. I thought they would start at 8:30, which is when the elk end their drink time. So I was expecting the drink time of the pronghorn to be like 8:30 to 12:30 or something along the lines of that, but it definitely isn't. Alright, we are nearing the range where we can take a shot with the 45 Colt, and in fact, let's go ahead and take a shot from right here, as I think we are close enough. Now, let's check what ammo we're using first. We are currently using the Full Metal Jacket, so this is the brand new ammo for the 45 Colt. Let's see if it's any better than the other ammunition, as the other ammunition has always been pretty bad. But let's see how the Full Metal Jacket does. I mean, that's not too bad. I'd say it definitely performs better than the other ammo does. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other ammo that we used to only have for this gun right here. It was the flat nose hard cast bullet. It really didn't perform that well, and that's mainly because of the low penetration. But this new one, the Full Metal Jacket, actually performs pretty well, and so far it's definitely a more enjoyable gun to use now because it does have a better ammo than what it used to, and that reload is just so nice, by the way. Love the reload, even though it is a bit slow. This handgun, it doesn't do as bad now that it's got a second ammo type. I'd say it's no longer my least favorite handgun in the game, that's for sure. It's still nowhere near being my favorite, but it is getting better with this new ammo type. And for those that are unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, there already is a 45 Colt in the game. It's the handgun that shoots 45 Colt and 410 shotgun shells. This is just a second gun that takes 45 Colt, and this one I don't believe actually can take the shotgun shells either. So this one is exclusively 45 Colt. But yeah, it looks like the Full Metal Jacket definitely did way better than the hardcast bullets did. So that's good at least. I'm glad it's got a better ammo type now. But I think since we just tested that round from the 45 on a pronghorn, it's only fair that we compare it to the 10 mil on a pronghorn. So let's go ahead and get a shot into this one right here, if it'll go broadside for us. And right there is the shot that we are looking for. Let's see, we did end up getting vitals. You know, it's got a very similar kill time, but I think the 10mm is just a tiny bit faster. It's so hard to tell, though. That was very, very close. Let's go ahead and pick this thing up and take a quick look at what we got. We have a double lung hit once again from around 82 meters. Yeah, I really feel like the 10mm and the 45 Colt are very in line with each other now, since the 45 Colt has a new ammunition type, and the 10mm is relatively powerful. It's definitely better than 357, but not as good as 44, like I was kind of assuming. But they do seem to be very similar rounds. Obviously, I'm sure in real life there's more differences between a 10mm and a 45 Colt, as you would expect, as they're very different rounds used in very different kinds of handguns. However, in the game, they seem very similar to each other, with the main difference being the 10mm seems like it kills them slightly faster, while also having that extra class that you can take with it. Well, we finally did it. We discovered the drink time for the Pronghorn, and it is 1830 to 21. Quite a vast difference from what the drink time used to be. So that's going to be interesting. I believe the first time was always around 8 o'clock in the morning, and the second time for Pronghorn used to be around 17:30, if I'm not mistaken. Possibly it was 18. So it looks like they got rid of the old time and have kept the later drink time for Pronghorn. So we're going to be hunting Pronghorn kind of late at night now, which is very interesting. However, guys, as you are watching this video, do keep in mind that this is my first look at this update. I have not discovered everything, so there definitely could be another drink time for Pronghorn that I've just missed out on, and just ended up finding this one first. So that's always a possibility, so take it with a grain of salt. This might not be the only drink time for them, but at least one of the drink times is at 18:30, and I think since this guy's giving us such a perfect shot, let's try out the 243 single shot. Because even though we were trying to use the 44, or the 45 Colt a little bit more, I think this guy's giving us the best shot we're going to get in a while for the brand new single shot 243. And as I say that, of course it moves. Well, anyway, once it goes broadside, we will go ahead and drop a shot into it. I'm expecting this to perform very similarly to the other 243. However, considering it's a handgun, there's always a chance it might have a slightly slower kill time, or maybe more of a drop-off in range, which I'm going to assume it probably will have more bullet drop, just because it is being fired out of a shorter barrel. But only time will tell. We will have to take a few shots with it and see what we notice, but this guy is not giving us the shot I wanted, so let's just do a next shot real quickly. That seemed to be about how a regular 243 would do with the next shot, so at least it doesn't seem to have lost any power. So let's take a look at the damage, and then we will head out and try to get some more kills with the 45 as well as the 243. But there we go, an upper neck shot, and yeah, it did pretty good. Definitely about the amount of penetration I would have expected from the regular 243 rifle with a neck shot. That does seem to be pretty much in line with it, though. Like I was saying, we will need to test it out some more. Yeah, that's performing about the same as the regular 243. That is awesome. This thing is going to be insane for just maximizing the versatility in our loadouts. We'll be able to ditch the regular 243 and take this as a much lighter option so that we can fit more stuff in our loadout when exploring new maps and stuff like that. This gun is actually going to be pretty game-changing. A lot more game-changing than both the 45 and the Glock. I think this is officially the best weapon in this pack, the 243 single shot. I am beyond impressed. You know, as we're going along with this video, my opinions on all of these guns are changing quite a bit. I really do think that the 243 is going to be the best one here. I mean, just hands down, it's killing things the quickest, it's got the farthest range, it can take any of the rifle scopes. It'll definitely be the most used out of all of these. However, both the 10mm and the 45 have ended up being a little bit more powerful than I expected, because we did get that brand new ammo with the 45, so it's no longer just stuck with that really crappy ammo that it had before. It actually has a somewhat decent option now that can take down stuff like Pronghorn pretty quickly, and just about in line with the 10mm as well. We'll obviously have to continue doing more testing. This is just a first look at all these, but my first impressions are that, well, the 243 is just as insane as I was expecting it to be, and both the 45 and the Glock 10mm have actually surprised me that they're a little bit better than I expected. When we saw the class ranges and stuff like that in the EW live streams, we didn't really expect the Glock to be too great. Same with the 45, but they are better than I expected. Given they're still handguns, you're not going to be taking super long shots with them. They are very much meant to be that gun that you use for close range or for a challenge. It's not going to be like your normal thing to take animals down with, for the most part, at least with what most people tend to use in Call of the Wild. However, they are all definitely better than I expected, and definitely better than what their classes and statistics would suggest. So that is a very pleasant surprise. Because I'm sure, like a lot of other people, you guys were probably a little bit curious why they did a handgun pack, and I know I saw a lot of people saying that they rather would have seen a rifle pack, and there was a lot of people that didn't understand why they would do a handgun weapon pack instead of going with weapons that are more widely used by more people. And I think at the end of the day, it comes down to the fact that there was less handguns in the game than anything else, and there still is a very hardcore fan base for handguns. So this was their attempt to give the handgun enthusiasts more options to choose from when they want to go out with a handgun. And I do think, though, not everybody is going to enjoy this weapon pack. If you're into handguns, this is definitely going to be the update for you. Though, I probably won't use the handguns super often except the 243 and sometimes the 10mm. I could definitely see that if you are a handgun enthusiast and you really enjoy hunting with handguns, you're gonna love this pack. But if you tend to lean towards rifles more, then really the 243 handgun's probably going to be the only one that you will enjoy using a lot. Well, I just noticed something immediately on Aotearoa. I came over here to check out some of these new handguns on Red Deer to see how they would perform, and there's a new tree right here. And that's floating. And there's a couple new bushes. Yeah, they definitely did a little bit more terraforming here on Aotearoa, but all of my red deer do appear to be in the exact same places, and all my herds look the same, so thankfully there wasn't any just random wipe of the populations, which does occasionally happen, but it seems like everything is right where I had them before the update. But there's definitely some new bushes and trees that have been moved around, so I'm curious what it's going to be like throughout the rest of the map as well. And alright, on cue, we've got a red deer coming down the hill. Let's attempt to get this thing to get a little bit closer, and then we will go ahead and sink a shot into it with the 10mm Glock. Well, 58 meters, that should be good enough right there. Let's just drop a shot into it and see how it performs. So far, no health going down, and there we go, the health is starting to deplete on this thing. I'd say it roughly about the speed of the 243, though we'll have to find that out soon as this guy runs in circles and finally dies. Well, let's go ahead and take a look. Did we even get double lung on this thing? And we most certainly did, so double lung and you still get 15% quick kill bonus. That's actually pretty cool. Okay, so we're going to compare this to the 45, even though it's too low of a class, and we'll also compare it to the 243, see how those handguns do. We'll try to get it from the same range, around 60 meters, and see what the quick kill bonus ends up being with a double lung. The more I think about it, this actually might be a tough test to do because the 243 does 0 clear up to 200 meters, and both of the other handguns 0 to 75, so a more fair test might be to use the middle zeroing distance for all of the handguns, or the game will crash on us and we'll never know. Yeah, that sounds about right too. Well, I guess we'll take another shot. Alright, so we are right about where we need to be to test out the 243 on a red deer as well, and compare the quick kill. We're about 10 meters, I'd say, farther away than with the Glock. However, it's now moving towards us, so we should be about the same, but either way, it shouldn't really matter because the 243 is a rifle round instead, so it's got a bit more power and velocity. But I'd say that we did end up getting double lung there, so this will be a good test to see if this thing kills just as fast as the 10 mil, or if the 10 mil actually has more damage output, which is definitely a possibility because that looked like it was dying slower. Let's see. The moment of truth. Will this be faster or slower? 0% quick kill with a double lung. And that was only like 10 meters further away, which won't really affect it since it was a rifle round. But we didn't even hit the shoulder blade, and we did end up hitting shoulder blade with the 10 mil. So that is crazy. The 10 mil is the most powerful handgun in the pack. And I'm gonna jump out of here before my dog continues to just bark. I forgot to stop him from tracking before I claimed it, so yeah, that was a mistake, but that was surprising. The 10mm actually is more powerful than the 243. I wonder where the 45 sits. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? So we got an albino respawn from that level 6 that we just killed, or not level 6, I think it was a level 5, but we got an albino respawn. That is hilarious. And you know what? I'll take it. What better to test out the 45 on than, you know, an albino where we can't even get full score with it. Alright, we're about 70 away. Let's go ahead and get lined up with the 45 right here. This is about the closest I'm gonna get, I think. I believe that should have been a decent hit right there. And yes, I know the ammo is not the proper class for Red Deer, but since this is early access, none of the progress I make here will carry over to my main save as far as I know. So it's not really going to matter that we just shot an albino with the improper caliber. This is more of just a test to see how each of these guns do, and that is a low bleed rate, which I believe should mean double lung, but I guess we'll find out. Yeah, I really think that the Glock is going to be the best out of all three of these handguns. It really seems like it killed them quicker, and yeah, 0% on the quick kill. So this was indeed a slower killing. Whoa, okay, that's why we didn't get double lung. You know, I might be wrong, but I think that hit a little bit further back than what I thought it would. So we actually need to go kill another one. But, obviously, we'll tax this, even though I don't think it's going to carry over to the main save once this patch goes live. But, yeah, we'll have to go find another one and see if we can get a more accurate representation of this gun's power, because that was definitely not the same shot that we took with the other two. Well, if we can just get it to go broadside here, this should be the exact shot that we have been looking for. We finally have a Red Deer that's going to somewhat cooperate, which is amazing. We just need him to go perfectly broadside. There we go. We finally got the shot that we were looking for with the 45 Rolliston. Let's hope that this did get double lung. If not, then that in itself is going to be a bit of a problem and make this so it's not as good of a gun as I thought it could possibly be. Because especially with this new ammo type for the 45, I'm expecting that to be able to get double lung, and if it doesn't, then that's a big problem. But we shall see. It looked like it was dying quick enough, but not 100% sure as of now. Not gonna lie, I think this actually died quicker than the Red Deer did with the Glock. This seems like it died very, very fast, and it actually didn't. Okay, so it did die slower than with the Glock. It almost seemed like it died quicker, but I mean, that tells you right there, 0% quick kill bonus. So this did die slower than with the Glock 10mm. Not by a lot, but enough to where you lost an extra 15% on your quick kill. Probably even more since it can't go below 0. But yeah, it's crazy. And we didn't even hit the scapula there either, and it still didn't perform as well as the Glock did. I'm pretty sure we did end up hitting scapula with the Glock, which would, in theory and typically in practice, take away a little bit of the damage output. But that was a surprising test. It seems like the Glock is the most powerful of the three handguns in this pack, but the 243 is definitely the most versatile, as you can put that much larger variety of scopes on it, as well as being able to zero clear out to 200 meters and drop the regular 243 from your loadout in favor of a single shot that only weighs 1 unit. So I think definitely the 243 is going to be the most versatile and most used handgun in this pack, and then the Glock is going to be probably the most fun one to use because of its high magazine capacity, the fact that it's semi-auto, and the fact that it's the most powerful of the three. But the 45, unfortunately, not really that impressive from what I'm seeing. It's better than it was by a long shot. But after more and more testing, I think my final decision is that I'm probably not going to use the 45. It just doesn't seem to pack that much power, and there's definitely better options that can take classes 2 through 5, and I mean, the Glock is a good example of that. I would much rather use the Glock over the 45 on class 2 to 5 animals, so that's my opinions on it. Not a fan of the 45 Rolliston besides the animations. Massive fan of the 243 because of its versatility, and the Glock is probably the most fun handgun in this pack. Overall, it's a decent weapon pack, but nowhere near as good as the last one. But still, if you enjoy handguns, you'll probably enjoy this, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video as well. We're going to go ahead and end it there as we take a look at the Glock animations once again and all the other animations. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a comment down below on which one of these guns is going to be the one that you use the most, or if you're just not even going to get the pack. Let me know. I'd love to read all of your guys' comments on and opinions on this update and what you guys have seen from this video, and let me know what other stuff you'd like me to cover from this patch. With that being said, thank you all for watching. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, click that like button, and ring that notification bell so that you guys will never miss any of the future uploads. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace!